Hello everyone. Um, Welcome to the 13th of December. It is Saturday morning, so I was just chilling, drinking coffee with Kira, and then it's it's 10 o'clock. I gotta go to a live stream. So here we are. And I'm focusing on darkness at the moment because tomorrow, here's the microphone. Tomorrow I'm doing a workshop which I would love you to join. You can go to dylansara.com to get a ticket. And it's going to be focused on darkness and simplification. And I was pretty happy with how yesterday's turned out of Nicole. So I'm going to do something similar with graphite and blending stump today. And I see that Lisbeth, Jörg, Christina, and Eddie are here. So nice to have you here. Anyone else who's watching, including you watching the replay, say hello in the comments or the chat. It's always nice to know who's here, who's drawing along. And I just had a little listen to the music of Jean Sibelius, who is a Finnish composer who our dear friend Jukka suggested that we could draw. What an intense looking, there are so many intense photos. And I see this as like it's kind of out of a different time frame, a different era. I don't know, there's this vintage bald intensity. I don't know, there's a lot of really cool references, a lot of had really cool light stuff going on. And I found this one that was quite dark and I thought this would be a cool reference. My father is here. Hello, Peter Sara 5702. And hello, Linda. Nice to have you here. So we're going to sketch this portrait, 10 minutes each day in Advent. I've been doing a 10-minute portrait sketch and you've been drawing along, which is really cool. If you haven't been, then you can go back and watch the replays and you can join in all of the sketching. So here's my workspace, Nicole from yesterday. Hopefully in focus. Let me know in the chat. Hey, buenos dias, Luis. Nice to have you here. 5 minutes, about to go, get started. I'm going to use this. Someone asked yesterday, so I'll tell you. It is a Faber-Castell Pitt solid graphite pencil. It's like wrapped in plastic. But that's what this pencil is. A blending stump here on the Hanemüller Nostalgie paper. Let's start drawing. And you can all tell me in the chat what you have done today, because I know someone is maybe about to go to sleep, or what you're going to do today. It is it's very close. We're drawing close to the solstice and Christmas, and the children are excited. There is a tradition in Germany that there are Christmas markets, and a friend of ours there's also a tradition in Göttingen, which is a university city where we live. We live just outside of the city. And the tradition here, when people have graduated, completed their PhDs, they go and kiss a statue, which is interesting. And there's this famous statue, and a friend of ours has graduated, and I wonder if he's going to kiss the statue. He's definitely going to be there. And we're going to go and celebrate his completion. Fabian, a friend that we've known for a very long time, and who was actually, I believe, a student of Kira's, and has now finished his PhD, which is pretty exciting. So we're going to go to the Christmas market, and the statue where this ritual takes place happens to be at the Christmas market. That's why it might seem like a tangent, but it's interconnected. All right, here's a block. Peter Sara 5702 does not know where the 5702 came from. Probably because Peter Sara was taken, and Linda says, lol, hi Dylan's dad. Everyone can say hi, Dad. Dad's working on a painting project at the moment, which is really cool. A couple, actually. A master study of a maritime oil painting. And your own masterpiece from your holiday photo in Italy, which is very cool to see that you've got a creative project happening. Isn't it great to have creative projects? What other projects do people have on? So I showed you yesterday this portrait of Patricia June Vickers, and I was hoping, and it may come to pass, I would like to draw the speakers from this event surrounding the release of the film, but I have requested their permission to draw them, and if they consent, I will draw them. And I think consent is interesting, and permission is something. With the last film, with the Maori film, I was in contact with a few people, and I like to, as much as possible. I have not got consent from Jean Sibelius to draw him, but I like to, as much as I can, to be in touch with the people that I draw and ask for their permission. Sometimes I know a lot of people don't mind, and sometimes it's a happy surprise, but particularly in the context of these Indigenous elders and teachers, that it's important to be in contact, communication, and have their blessing. So if that happens, then that will be my project. My personal project. Because I found those series of films they're so important right now. And there's a lot of hope and beauty in the message of those films, and I feel that's very important and something we could all do with. This is interesting, very non-defined so far. I haven't needed to cough all morning. This is special, just for the live stream. So yeah, tomorrow's workshop will be about darkness, and I really like this as a change of pace and technique of drawing into a non-white substrate is really interesting, and what happens when the value range is really limited. That was our first 5 minutes, everyone. Here comes the second 5 minutes. Yeah, so when the value range is limited and not the stark contrast of white paper, black ink, it's really interesting what happens working within that kind of limited value range. So it's interesting here with graphite, which is not as dark as ink, and then having no white of the paper left. And just immediately the atmospheric effect is very different. And it was interesting yesterday, although I felt like Nicole's portrait was very unfinished after the 10 minutes, that there was this wonderful soft quality to it, which was really interesting. So yeah, if you'd like to come and explore darkness in portrait drawing with me tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow already. So I'll be doing the live stream in the morning, a special one, a special reference. And in the evening will be the workshop. And I would love to have you there. Oh, cool. I got a message from Josephine, as I requested consent to draw her husband, and she just said yes, of course. They've been married for 25 years. I was wondering who is this person whose reference you keep sharing. So Josephine just wrote. So we'll be drawing Eric in the coming days too. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this thing of like requesting permission and obtaining consent, because I feel like a lot of people that are on YouTube, for example, or public figures, it's interesting because they're out there so much anyway, particularly the big celebrities who will likely never see any message requests that get sent to them. and that's, it must be an interesting kind of realm to exist in, just being a public figure, I guess. But of course, even with those people are also people, and if we can establish some kind of connection and be in touch, that's also pretty special. So I've sketched some people in the past, and then shared some content creators who I think are doing really cool stuff, and then shared my sketches of them, and then they've replied and been really happy to see it, and that's super nice as well. Which feels like permission in post, but sometimes I think it's important and appropriate to have permission in advance, depending on the context. And if you would be happy to be drawn on my Discord server, where I share all of these references, I have a reference sharing channel, and some of you have shared some really cool reference there. Some have already been drawn, and people are also sharing their work from this daily Advent challenge. I've been sharing daily references for pretty much, there have been a few days I've missed out on when we were on holiday in summer and stuff, but pretty much over a year now I've been sharing daily references on my Discord server. So I curate some images which I think are really cool to work from, and some people within the community have shared themselves for us to draw. And there's much more going on than just the daily reference. It's really cool spot, corner of the internet. So if you would like to join the Discord server and community, there is a link in the description. This is a Blackwing pencil, yes. That's right, Linda. I know it's a kind of cult pencil, it seems. Some people only use them and love them, and they are stylishly designed with their flat erasers. But I had one for a long time and didn't even really use it. But I have done some pieces with it where I realized there's quite I feel like the variation, there's quite a range of variation that you can get from it, which is really cool. Like, it can be soft and dark. It's pretty erasable, like I realized for getting highlights. This little eraser here, I was working on something recently and I was like, oh, I've got to move the entire eye. It's all in the wrong, like one eye was way too high. And sometimes you do a drawing and when you try and erase something, it just kind of, it's visible. It's like it makes a mess and you can't really get rid of it without it being kind of a obvious mess. And having to lower this whole eye in the drawing I did recently, I was amazed that with this pencil I was able to do it without it really being obvious that I had dropped the eye. So that was kind of cool, nice, interesting to see that this pencil and eraser was capable of that kind of editing capabilities, let's say. All right, that's already 10 minutes. This feels so different to yesterday's. But that's it for now. 10 minutes. I'll be back here again tomorrow. Tomorrow's maybe a bit longer because it's going to be a special portrait, which I'm drawing for Cindy, who won a giveaway. That little eraser, it's a fun, that kind of brass look. It's, in terms of pencil design and optics, it's pretty fun. Here I see like the whole face could maybe be squished down a bit more. I've made the forehead smaller, but it is how it is. Thank you everyone for drawing me. If you've made it to the end of this live stream, put a drawing hand emoji in the chat like this. And it was fun having you here. And you're awesome, Linda. Thank you so much to everyone who's drawing and has been drawing along throughout these Advent sketches. And as I mentioned, if you want to come join my workshop tomorrow, there's a link in the description. Go to dylansara.com and you can get a ticket. and we're going to explore darkness together during this dark time of the year. I'd love to see you there. They've been very cool sessions the last couple of Sundays, and I look forward to this one. All right, have an incredible Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Oh, thumbs up as well. Something I often forget to say. Like and subscribe. Comment in the comments, and then that's how things work